Hi everyone. So I think we will start. Anas, and I'll be taking over from Yvonne for this afternoon. Yeah. So I had a good food on my PhD afterwards. And to be honest, I've been PhD since I came to Chongqing. So thank you for the Chongqing RA Institute and for the organizers for the help and all the good work. We have three presentations for this afternoon. First, we start by Sichin Hu. Sichin is a third-year PhD student at NUS in Operations Research and Analytics. She got her Bachelor of Science in Information Management and Information Systems from Harvard Institute of Technology, and she's interested in data-driven labor work problems and labor supply chain. So, Sichin, it's for you.
For introduction from Anna. My name is Wu Sichin, and I'm a third-year PhD student from IORA, and I'm also a member from Chongqing Institute Program. So welcome to Chongqing, everyone. Today I'm very glad to stand here to share our recent work in understanding the global supply problem in the economy, and we will show the evidence from a platform. This is one work using casual and from Yeah, so the gig economy, I think I do not need many introduction about it because we use it in our daily life. For example, I think many of you use mobile phone to take taxi easier in the morning, and this is exactly one type of the gig economy called ride sharing service. For example, the famous platform Uber and Didi provides this kind of sharing service. Another type is our delivery service. Meituan in China provides all kinds of delivery service from food delivery to your urgent documents. I remember one time I even called a Meituan agent to deal with a bug for me at midnight. So I think this service is quite necessary and flexible at least for me. And Amazon provides similar delivery service in other countries. Another type is about remote service. Yeah, so remote service can include the things like web design, video editing, and even the online tutorial or assistance. Something like this. After the gig economy also includes domestic service. So, like in the Grover website, you can even find someone to walk your dog. And in Airbnb website, you can rent out the vacant available houses for some money. So these are all components of the gig economy. I think as the CNN plans on U.S. economy, the rise of this gig economy and the workers by changing our daily life and the worldwide economy. The workers work in this economy is called the freelancers. They are different from the traditional employees. Traditional employees usually have long-term employment. They usually receive regular salary and provide some standard working schedule. But freelancers, they are usually self-employed and they can have quite variable payments and flexible working time. This figure indicates that the share of the U.S. workforce for freelancers has arisen from 34% in 2015 to 39% in 2022. A parallel trend was observed in China. We see that the Chinese freelancers have reached around 84 million. So among this, I think the composition is one of the most important mechanisms for this platform to manage and incentive the freelancers labor supply. So this actually brings us to the key question of this work, that is how the freelancers respond to compensation. The platform we collaborate with is a delivery service platform. It is a third-party logistic platform that connects the customers who want their parcels to be delivered as well as the delivery agents. So it can actually provide a service in many
Asian key areas, including Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and Malaysia. It has many famous collaborators, merchants, and it offers diverse delivery agent types from workers, riders, drivers, and so on. So here is a figure I want to show the apps they designed for the merchants or the individual customers. So basically, you can create the order here and enter the pickup, drop-off information and when do you want it to be delivered, something like this. They also designed the app for the delivery agents. So if you are an agent, when you open the apps on the phone, you can see all the available orders for you here, from their pickup price to drop-off price and the weight of it, whether it is a warehouse order and everything here. We also have the chance to visit their warehouse in Singapore. So this is the inner view of their, this is the property. So this inner view of the warehouse, we can see tons of orders are waited to be delivered. So because of this unique warehouse mechanism, the orders, pre-arrived orders could be stored temporarily at their warehouse and released to agents afterwards. So this is also one kind of their delivery agent is their delivery vans. So after visiting their warehouse, maybe we have some questions in mind. First of all, is the most important one. We are trying to know how does the agent level supply would respond to the compensation offered to them. To be more specific, first is given an compensation offered to agents, whether would they participate or not. I can show some previous literature results for this participation decision. For example, the Integer used the shift of instruments to find that the agent would participate more when you offered higher compensation to them. Similarly, Sun used the previous 2 working days compensation as an approximation of today's compensation and find that the more you pay to agents, the agent would work more. But all of this previous literature, we may find the question that either they use the instrument variable or they use an approximation as today's compensation to study their participation decision. So the challenge in answering this question is we cannot actually observe the true offered compensation to the non-participating agents. This is the first challenge we have. The second question is, if the agent participate, how long would they work? For the literature related to this area, there are 2 main streams. First is about neoclassical level supply theory. So basically it says agents would work more if you paid more to them, because they would substitute their leisure for labor if you offered higher wages to them. The literature uses the cumulative income or the instrument variable to study this working time elasticity. This is a figure generated by ChatGPT. I want to represent an agent. If you paid more to him, he would like to work more hours. So in a contrast, there is an opposite theory named reference-dependent theory. So basically, this theory states that agents tend to have a reference point, which motivates them to reach that point, and they would stop earlier if they reach that point earlier. The most famous example is Camera used the instrument variable to estimate a negative working time elasticity for New York taxi drivers. But we can also see some problems when estimating the working time decisions. They either use the cumulative income or the instrument variable, because there may be many unobserved factors that affect the agent's compensation as well as their working time at the same time. So this may arise the endogeneity issue in this working time decision estimation. This is the second challenge we have. And the second problem we are trying to solve is, does the time of the compensation change really matter? To be more specific, we are trying to answer the question like this: should the compensation be adjusted in the morning or in the afternoon? The literature talking about this problem involves, for example, the don't utilize the no-shows and cancellations as exogenous shock to study the Singapore taxi driver, but they do not have considered the timing of this shock happened. Like TT, they use the cumulative income to study the within-day timing of earnings affecting their labor supply problem, but they do not consider the composition change for agents. So these are all the questions in estimating this problem. The challenge is how to identify the composition change for agents at different time periods. So these are the several questions and the challenges we are trying to solve in this work. Luckily, we have a very unique data, so I will introduce our data for you. We used their Hong Kong service data from March 1st to May 31st, 2022. Total, there are around 400,000 orders and 2,000 agents. The order flow in this platform like this. So suppose we are now on the delivery day. It is day T here. Before the delivery day, there would be many orders arrive on that day. Some of them would be accepted by some agents, but some of them would be left over to the next day. So on day T, we would have the previous day leftover orders and the new arrived orders. The previous accept orders before the delivery day, this kind of order, the platform would offer the fixed compensation to agents. We call this kind of order schedule orders. On the other hand, the orders that are accepted on the delivery day, they would have surgeon price, which means their price would be higher and higher as it approaches to its drop-off deadline. We call this temporary orders. So these two special types of orders actually enable us to study this complicated labor supply problem, especially the schedule orders. So let me explain it for you. For schedule orders, as I say, it has fixed the compensation offered to agents. It is decided purely by the platform and based on very simple algorithm. What does it mean? It means there is no observed market effects of factors that affect this compensation. The compensation is free of endogeneity issue when we estimate the working time and the compensation relationship. So this is very beneficial for us to study the working time decision. It seems that we have solved the first challenge, that is, we have the unobserved factors that affect both compensation and working time, but for schedule orders, we do not have this issue. The second advantage of the schedule orders is it is released before drop-off day for all orders. So what does it mean? It means the platform actually offers the same compensation for both participating and non-participating agents. In other words, we can observe the true offered compensation for non-participating agents, which is good for us to estimate the participation decision, because the challenge is all the previous literature or the platforms cannot observe such information, that the non-participating agents' compensation, but we can observe for the schedule orders. So the problem becomes simple for schedule orders here. When we try to estimate the working time decision, we can use a very simple and elegant log regression to estimate its labor supply elasticity. The HIT here is the working time of the participate agent I on day T. The WIT is the hourly compensation for agent I on day T. We also add control variables and the fixed effect in this regression to control for some other factors. As I said, the schedule orders, the compensation is fixed for them, and they are free of any endogeneity issue of the compensation. So the estimation of the beta 1 is just the working time elasticity, unbiased estimator of elasticity. It equals to minus 0.51. So it is negative. What does it mean? It means if we offered higher compensation to agents, the agents' working time would be less. It is a target owner. So it means if we offer higher compensation to them, agents are likely to have a target every day. They would be able to reach their income target earlier on that day, and they would just stop working earlier. in order to check this target behavior, we add more safety checks. For example, we ensure that there is no demand constraints for them. We ensure that all agents would have at least 30 potential orders for them to choose. We ensure that they stop working because of their income target behavior, not because of any demand constraints. And secondly, we also check compensation is positively correlated within the day. So this is to check, to ensure that agents stop working because of income target behavior, not because of, oh, I expect that the afternoon compensation would be low and I'm not willing to work in low paid time periods. So if this condition is satisfied, we are more safer to check that agents are target behaviors. Third, the compensation is uncorrelated across days. So this means agents are likely to be a daily target income. So they would be hard for them to plan these income targets across multiple days. They are more likely to set their income target on a daily basis. So now we have a very clean and safe conclusion that agents are somehow like a target owner. If we paid more, they work less. But can we just simply pay a very low wage to them and they would work many, many hours for us? The answer is no, because we have not considered their participation decision yet. So we also use a very simple regression family to estimate this participation decision. The PIT is the agent decision to participate or not. The WIT, as I said, we can observe the true offer compensation to non-participating agents. So this variable is truly observable for us. We also add some other control variables and a fixed effect in it. The result is here. The participation elasticity is 1.20 here. It is positive, which means if we paid more compensation to agents, they would work more for us. So remember that previously we have a negative elasticity for working time, which means paid more, work less. So in summary, we paid more to them. More agents would participate, but each participated agent would work less hours for us. As I talk about these two elasticities, one is negative, one is positive here, I think a natural question that someone may ask me is, how about the total labor supply will change? How about the combination effect of these two elasticities? Well, the answer for this is simple. We can just decompose the total labor supply into two components. First is the participation elasticity, and the second is the working time elasticity. So the total labor supply is very simple. Just the sum of two elasticities is the 0.69 here. So this positive total labor supply elasticity means if we paid more to agents, despite the negative trend of the working time elasticity, there would still have more labor supply for our platform. Yeah, we have almost finished the we have finished the simple one. So the results are quite elegant and clean here. How about the complicated one? We still have another type of order, that is the temporary orders. How does agent respond to temporary orders? So different from scheduled orders, temporary orders, we would have the endogeneity issue for compensation because their price is changing as it close to its deadline. There may be some unobserved factors that affect this compensation and the working time at the same time. So we need to solve this endogeneity issue. We solve it using an instrument variable. That is the number of orders available for agents to choose. It is calculated from the demand side. So remember that we agents can observe the number of agents from the apps, and we just count the number of these available orders as an instrument to instrument on the compensation offered to them. And indeed, this is a valid instrument variable. First of all, it is positively correlated to the compensation offered to agents. From one hand, if there are more orders on the platform will have more pressure to increase the compensation to agents to get these parcels to be delivered. On the other hand, if there are more orders for agents to choose, agents would have potential or possibility to find some nearby orders that they can bundle together to increase their hourly income rate. So this number of available orders is positively correlated with the offer compensation to agents. And secondly, this instrument variable also satisfies the exclusion restriction, which means the number of orders available to agents would affect the agent's working time only through affect their compensation offered to them, not through any other things. So this is indeed a valid instrument variable. We show the result without instrumental variable, that is the negative 0.56 here. When we add the instrumental variable in, it drops to around negative 2.52 here. This indicates we would have an upward bias for the estimation without instrumental variable. But we still verify that for temporary orders, agents still behave like a target owner. Right, so in summary, let's give a small summary here. We have two types of orders, scheduled and temporary orders. The scheduled orders provide a very clean environment, but temporary orders would have endogenous issue, but we can solve it like using the instrument variable. The result for temporary orders is also similar for the scheduled orders, that is the higher compensation, more agents participate, but each participate agents work less time. We also provide a variety of robustness check and some other evidence that can support this target behavior in this analysis. So if you're interested, you're welcome to talk to me afterwards. Yeah. I think I still have another question to solve, like, So the last question, as I mentioned, should we adjust the conversation in the morning or in the afternoon? I'm trying to answer it now. This is actually inspired by the Kozak and Rabin statement. They say that agents can somehow adjust their daily targets rationally, and they would respond negatively only to the unexpected payment part. So this inspires us to say that the exogenous shock is somehow equivalent to this unexpected compensation shock for agents. So how to identify this unexpected compensation for agents? I already showed the answer here. So imagine we are the agent. The things that we can observe is the expected part for us to expect this compensation, like the date-specific effect, agent-specific effect, and order-specific information. Everything we can observe forms the expected part of compensation for me. The rest of this compensation is the unexpected part of this compensation for me. If we use a regression to regress on this compensation, the residuals of this regression would be the unexpected part for this agent specifically. So after having these residuals representing the compensation change for agents, we further construct the discounted cumulative shock to consider the timing effect. Why we want to consider this timing effect? Because we think agents cannot respond to the compensation change immediately. It takes time for him to change his labor supply behavior. So we use the discounted cumulative shock to balance between two terms. The first term is the current time unexpected shock for agents. And the second, the capital S, is the previous time discounted cumulative shock for agents. And R is the discounted term that ranges from 0 to 1. So why use DCS? The first reason is the DCS can provide perfectly the exogenous or the unexpected compensation for agents to study their later labor supply. And second of all, because this DCS model uses a high-frequency time series data and use a more granular level order-specific information, which cannot be used by elasticity model. It can provide insights on what is the effect of the timing of compensation change on the agent's later labor supply. We also provide many robustness check for it, but now let me show the result of the DCS effect on participation first. These four figures shows there are 4 compensation shocks happened in the morning, in the afternoon, and evening correspondingly. So for example, when the compensation happened in the morning, there would be more agents participate throughout the whole day from morning to evening. the coefficients are all statistically significant. But when the composition happened at noon or in afternoon, in the evening, the number is not significant, and which means this DCS effect does not have many effect on agents' participation decision later on that day. Yeah, so this is the effect on the agent's participation decision. We also show the effect on their delivery decision. So similarly, the first figure indicates there are composition shock happen in the morning. We could see more agents would deliver more orders in the morning and afternoon, but the effect reduces to 0 and to negative number when it comes to afternoon and evening. So this effect diminished over time. So similarly, when the composition happens at noon, afternoon, evening, there is little effect on their delivery. If there is any, it is negative effect. So this is also consistent with our target owner conclusion from the elasticity model that if we paid more to them, they are likely to work less later on that day. Yeah, so this is basically the results for the DCS model. And finally, I want to provide some managerial implications from this work. I have talked a lot about the analysis from this observational study. So I think it's a time for you to think about which policy or which managerial implications is better for this platform. So first of all, do you think it's better to encourage more agents to participate or to incentive the already participated agents to work longer? Okay, no one responds, but I guess everyone should know the answer after my analysis here. So I think we should encourage more agents to participate because agents tend to have a relatively high participation margin, and it would be very expensive for us to incentive those target owner agents. Second policy, whether to increase the composition in the morning or in the afternoon, it is the first question that I come up with. Yeah, so which one do you think is better? Yeah. Yeah, Proptia is so smart.
What happened? Recently, we stopped wasting time to.
Oh. So yeah, exactly in the morning, because the DCS model has already shown that the increase of composition would have effect on agents' participation only when it happened in the morning. If you increase the composition later on that day, agents will not respond positively to your increase. And the last one is the not so obvious one. So anyone can answer the last question here. Should we notify the agents of the composition after delivery or ahead of their delivery? Yeah. Any guess? Okay. From my understanding, I think it should be notified to agents after they ahead of time, because first of all, agents can adjust their daily targets rationally, and if we notify this increase to them ahead of time, they can somehow increase their income target level and still offer more working time for us. On the other hand, agents are like target owners, which means they are more likely to be loss aversion. If they lose this pre-announced bonus to them, they would hate behavior like this. So I would suggest that we notify this increase to agents ahead of time. Of course, these implications are subject to the future field experiment results, but this is basically almost everything I want to share here today. Any questions and comments are welcome.
Okay, thank you, Christian, for the
Yeah, and thanks for the nice talk. I have a question about the working time elasticity. Do you use all the data, like the data for all the drivers' time, right? And all the time, all the day T?
You can see the result I showed here. I just showed the result for full-time agents.
because for part-time agents, they will have other like issues for like selection bias.
Yeah. That's why I feel it's like in your working time model, you have like the HIT, which is working time, right? You have WIT, which is reach. But if a driver decides not to work on that day, then it's like HIT 0. Do you drop this driver or do you use 0 in the model?
Drop this driver. Because we use full-time agents. Full-time agents means they almost participate every day. So your case that you want to participate are very rare for full-time agents.
Yeah. Because in a paper you cite, actually they use very similar model, and if you consider the bias due to this kind of work or not decision, the result may turn from negative to positive.
Yeah, we also consider the selection bias in our robustness check. If you're interested, I can show the result later for you. We consider the selection bias for part-time agents, but for our agents, they do not change our result too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? I think I have one question. So recently we had like a statistic on EPA wages. Some drivers will just work less, and we had like more joining. So somehow that takes off the workers, and we have like more workers. Right. So is there like any actual way to have so we can minimize the number of drivers that we work less, but also maximize the drivers that we don't. How to find the optimal driver?
Yeah, I think it is a very good question from the platform side because always trying to minimize our cost to the agents. But it is very difficult to implement reality because you can see all agents offer the same composition in their mobile phones when you open the app. So it's difficult to offer different composition, optimal weight for different types of agents. It is unfair for them.
Okay, thank you.
For the full-time agent, yeah, for part-time I can participate on the management. I think my full-time agent. They can choose. These are the results of they are work almost every day. Actually, we must push them to work every day. Then why is full-time? Because they are traveling by the competition with all the so do they have any contract? No, they don't have any. Yeah, we do not have the contract yet. Okay.
Seems like you study the scheduled honor and temporary honors separately, but are these honors randomly assigned to workers or these honors? Are they their own preference?
Yeah, they can pick whatever they like for get voters, it is related to multiple days. So yesterday I can pick as many schedule orders as I like. And today the orders become principal orders. I can also pick as many principal orders as I like.
And it's also show them as consultant bias during these.
Yes, we also consider it in our robustness check. But the results are consistent with the positive or negative sign here.
So that means there's like workers are in difference between these two honors.
Yeah, there is indeed a trade-off between the forward and temporary orders. This is kind of another topic of this diversified problem. Yeah, but yeah.
I think that's one of the questions. I guess this is very well. So